31M, most tactful way to explain to my newish non-white girlfriend, 28F, that she is never going to meet my family because they are extremely racist. So, yeah, pretty much that. Basically, my family are racists. Like racist as fuck. I don't mean the type who will look suspiciously at black people and make off-color jokes. I mean the type who like to hang out in compounds with big fences around them and think Timothy McVeigh was a national hero. I joined the military when I was 18 and hung out with people from all over the place, realized racism is fucking stupid and have not spoken to them since. So here we are over a decade later. I started dating a girl from my grad program who is awesome. She is Indian, meaning from the subcontinent, not Native American. We have been dating for about 3 months and it is getting pretty serious. She is kind of asking about my family now and has said she is really excited to start meeting each other's families sometime soon. She is very excited by it and it kind of hurts to have to explain that my fam is mostly next generation clan and have no contact with them. What is the most tactful way to explain something like that? I hate that I have to do it and I'm not looking forward to explaining the family I come from to my non-white girlfriend for obvious reasons. Is there a good way to have this conversation? Too long didn't read. My Indian girlfriend wants to meet my family. She never will because my family is racist as fuck. How do I tactfully explain that to her? I've been kind of dancing around answering this question for a while now, but I'd like to address it now. I'm actually not in contact with my family at all and have no interest in inviting them back into my life. I cut them out because they are very racist, and I would not tolerate their behavior and beliefs. I know this can be a lot to take in. I'm happy to answer any questions this may bring up for you. You could also add in if you have any friends or non-blood family you are close to that she could meet instead, so you're still sharing people who you love with her and having that experience together. Girlfriend, I wish you could meet my family. I wish I had a family that I liked, and was proud of, and wanted to spend time with, but I don't have that. My family is racist. Deeply, KKK level racist. Because of that, I don't speak to them anymore. They aren't a part of my life, and I don't want them to be. She's an adult. She'll get it. Just tell her, and let her know more than once that it's not her. It's them and their racist bullshit. Good luck. And I'm really, really glad that you realized how wrong they were. That gives me hope. Mention the decade part 2 so she knows it is long in the past. Forget tact. This is something you need to be very clear on. There's no dancing around it. From the sounds of it, it wouldn't be safe for her to meet your family. It wouldn't be safe for him to return either. His changed views and his GF flushed face. I'm Indian. Be direct and honest. It is what it is. If you don't have contact with your family, maintain that. You didn't choose to be born in that family. I can chime in as someone in an interracial marriage who is the ethnic minority partner. Be straight with her. Don't dance around it. Make it clear that you haven't spoken to them in years and that this is something that you decided on long before you met her, so she doesn't feel like you're cutting them off for her sake. Make it clear that you also see things becoming more serious with her. Make it clear the kind of boundaries you've set in your own life, i.e., no contact at all, so she knows what to expect from you from here on out. Family is big for Indian people, so it may be difficult to explain this to her family, so if she gets stressed out about what her parents or family will think, don't be surprised. The sad but fortunate fact is that most ethnic minorities live with the reality of racism, so it's not something that she should be entirely unready to deal with. She'll probably handle it a lot better than you think. I definitely agree with this, and definitely making sure she's aware that you cut them out a long time ago and that you wouldn't be speaking to them either way. So it's not really that she will never get to meet them, it's that you've cut assholes out of your life who happen to be your family, and thus, no family for her to meet whether she was any ethnicity. My mom is saying I'm not allowed to talk about her boyfriend, making me uncomfortable with any family. Update/edit number 1, thank you for all the comments offering help. I am going to speak to my grandpa once I get home and he will properly handle the situation. I'll update you guys if anything major happens. Also, just letting you know I am safe. I'm staying with my grandparents and he is in a different state. Edit number 2, pie. I added more details to the story because when I was first writing this I was really tired and left out a lot of important details. Please reread this if you have read this already. Also, I'm pretty sure my mom is an undiagnosed bipolar. A friend told me that that's what she always suspected and her doctor about a year ago mentioned it and she got really upset. For context, I am 14F, living with my grandparents, my mother, 38F, and my brother, 18M. I recently went on a trip to see my mother with her new boyfriend because she had been away staying with her boyfriend for a month or two. I decided to visit my mom for her birthday for about 2 weeks. While I was there, her boyfriend made me super uncomfortable, drinking a lot around me and my friend. 14F, he kept touching me to get my attention during dinner constantly, 8 to 15 times on like my waist and shoulder, nothing sexual. We were having dinner with my mom's friend and her daughter who is a childhood friend of mine. My friend could tell he was making me uncomfortable and I kept saying in a joking manner that I wanted to have a sleepover at her house. A little later through dinner, I had my earbuds playing music to calm down because I was having really bad anxiety that night, and music is one of my coping mechanisms. The F got upset and said that it was disrespectful for me to have my earbuds plugged in while I was at the dinner table. This caused me to have a total anxiety attack and run to the bathroom, my mom running after me. This conversation went somewhat like this: are you crying just because he told you to take out your earbuds? No, Mom, my anxiety is high today and he keeps touching me and I literally can't handle this right now. Afterward I asked for privacy. Her mom's friend, who is like a second mom to me, was texting me and reassuring me to try and not think about it. And I made it clear to my mom I was not a big fan of her boyfriend and that he was making me super uncomfortable. After dinner, my friend and I went to go do pottery while my mom and her friend talked to BF. My mom's friend said he was making me uncomfortable and he thought I was acting rudely towards my friend because I was being so quiet and distant. After that, we all headed up to the rooftop of the apartment building we were staying at to throw a color party. Before dinner there was a place where you were able to throw paint at each other, but it got cancelled because of COVID. We decided to throw our own mini one. After the paint thing, my mom's friend said I would be staying with her for the night, so she told me to go wash up in the apartment. While I was showering I kept hearing banging on the door and I summed it up to be my friend messing with me. But while driving to my mom's friend's place she told me he was banging on the door trying to get in to use the bathroom even though the shower curtain is clear. My mom was trying to get him to stop, and according to mom's friend sometime throughout the night while I was in the shower he pulled his pants down so far my mom's friend could see his private part. I wasn't aware of this, but apparently, he was really blackout drunk and my mom was embarrassed. My mom's friend talked to my mom about me feeling uncomfortable around him about drinking, so my mom talked to him, and for the last few remaining days of the trip, he stopped drinking and making me uncomfortable, and promised me she would break up with him once we got back home. During the day of our flight to fly back to our hometown we got into several arguments. She wouldn't put on her mask while standing in line for security even though several staff asked her to. When I told her she was embarrassing me she proceeded to say, well, get over it. She would pull her mask to her chin and make jokes about it, and when I ignored her she said something along the lines of, can you get the stick out of your ass? We kept arguing about the flight time as well. She thought the flight was at 3 o'clock, meanwhile it was at 2 o'clock. She wouldn't listen to me and would yell at me when I was trying to speed walk to our flight. She was stopping at makeup shops and food stops the entire time. We ended up missing our flight and she was getting angry at the staff and being really immature. It felt so embarrassed because she was acting like a Karen, dramatically sighing and getting upset. Right before takeoff she kept getting into my personal space and kept angrily saying, why do you have such an attitude, being really loud and obnoxious to where other people were staring at us. Whenever I tried to say, can you please get out of my personal space? Because she was directly in my face and leaning her entire upper body into my seat, so I was backed up into the wall since I was in the window seat. We ended up arguing and she just ignored me throughout the entire flight, sleeping. We had a flight agent ask her around 10 different times to put her mask on and I was just so embarrassed. Skipping to presently, my brother, 18M, At his graduation, we had our family there and my mom texted me midway through, I quote, "Don't tell people bad things about BF, or even mention that you don't like him. Just say he's alright, or I don't know him well enough if anything." That's including your cousin, aunt, grandfather, etc. Just saying, I don't want anyone knowing my business. It was so random and out of the blue. We were waiting for my brother to walk out onto stage. I understand she doesn't want anybody having bad feelings against him, but it's not just her business. I want to talk to my grandpa about it because I feel like I cannot confide in my mom anymore. She has changed so much since her trip. She doesn't care about anybody else anymore. She's super obnoxious and rude. She drinks so much now compared to what she did. She snatches my phone out of my hands and is constantly checking to see who I am texting or calling. She always has checked my phone and went through my room when I'm sleeping, but it's never been this bad. She told me she would always put me first, but I feel like she isn't at all. I'm currently staying at my aunt's house with her and my brother, and I honestly don't want to be here. When I told her that I was homesick and asked when we were going home, since she told me it would only be the weekend beforehand and it had already been 3 days, she told me to get over it. My brother and I are leaving by ourselves back to our grandparents because he agreed that she's being so rude and has changed. I feel so frustrated around, and she's always assuming it's because she tells me to get off my phone, when it's not. It's just her presence. She told me she would break up with her boyfriend but still doesn't. She's constantly texting him and calling him. What do I do? Do I talk to my grandfather? Please help. Too long didn't read. My mom is saying I'm not allowed to talk about her boyfriend, making me uncomfortable with any of my family members. She's not putting me first and acting rude and obnoxious all of a sudden. She realized that what he's doing isn't okay and is trying to hide it. There shouldn't be things a kid should have to hide. That's not normal. My mom used to do this shit all the time. Don't feel pressured to keep secrets for a person who doesn't respect you or others. Talk to a trusted adult about anything you want. If she ever does find out I told somebody, what do I do? She would take away my phone and probably go through all my messages. I don't feel comfortable making inappropriate jokes or venting/ranting to my friends anymore, purely because I don't want her to read that and hold it against me to ground me longer. Don't talk to friends in person anymore because of COVID, so it feels like my entire social life is being limited by my mom. She doesn't go through my phone much. Just once in a while. She's only snatched my phone from my hands once, and that was on the plane. I don't think she respects my grandparents too much, and they don't have a good relationship with her, because of things that happened in my mom's childhood that has lingered to presently. With COVID and living in a small town, it feels all I have to entertain me is my phone to have a social life. I really don't want all my conversations and emotions being read by her. Anytime someone tells you to keep your feelings a secret, that is a sign of danger. I'm glad you have your grandparents as a soft place to land. When you get home, ask them to buy a lock for your bedroom. Teenagers should have private space and their rooms should be theirs, unless they have a problem with hiding dangerous things like drugs or weapons. I'm not entirely sure if they would buy a lock. I have an indoor lock to my room, but nobody in the house likes it when I have it locked all day. My closet has my grandpa's tools and he has to frequently go in and out. My BF untags himself from our photos. I'd love to get some perspective on this. Me, 24F, and my BF, 23M, have been dating for a year. Anytime I have posted a picture of us together on Instagram, he used to untag himself. With more recent ones, the tag stays but he hides them from showing up on his profile. I've asked him about this and he said it was because of his job. He didn't want anyone to be able to tag him on social media in case bosses would see, but I've told him that my Insta is private so they won't see it anyways. He posted one picture of us together about a month ago after I got upset that he never had posted me before. He originally had me tagged, but I noticed that a few days ago he removed my tag from the post. When I asked why, he played dumb and said I did. I didn't mean to. Like what? It makes me feel like he's being shady and trying to hide me. Any advice would be appreciated. Too long didn't read. BF untags himself from our photos and has untagged me from the one post he has up.